Well, hey guys, this is Rhine1988 or Justin back here to do week 114 on the DVD Fiends, and for my Sunday review, I'm going to be talking about the film The Final. Now, The Final was released in 2009 or 10 with the After Dark Horror Fest number 4, and the storyline is basically about, it surrounds high school at first. And you have the popular kids, and you have the not-so-popular kids, and you have what goes on in real-life high school, which is bullying. You have these popular kids who like to pick on these not-so-popular kids, especially the main 5 in this film, the not-so-popular kids. In the story, you have 5 kids who aren't so popular, and you have these popular kids who like to pick on them, who like to call them names, to put them down, to treat them badly. It's very cruel, especially in the beginning when you're seeing these kids get picked on, because, it's very sad to see in high schools where you have these kids who think they're all that, who are really popular, who pick on other kids. And it happens in real life high schools, and it's always sad to hear on the news about kids being picked on, or you see in high schools. But basically, this surrounds that type of stuff where you have these popular kids, picking on these kids who don't do anything to them. At first, they don't call them names. They just try to move on with their self every day in high school, and these kids are bullying these other kids. So, it surrounds popular kids, not so popular kids, and, what happens in high school, especially when it comes to kids being picked on. So, you have these 5 kids, and they decide they are going to plan something for the popular kids. They are going to throw a party. It's going to be a costume party. The 5 kids are going to be dressed up, and the popular kids are going to be dressed up. And at first, when you're watching this, when they get to the party, none of the popular kids know who's throwing the party, I don't think. Because when the 5 kids reveal themselves, the popular kids are really shocked. So they don't know who's throwing the party, they're just invited. All the popular kids come out in costumes, dress up, and have fun dancing and talking to each other. But what they don't know is the 5 kids have drugged the punch, and the popular kids all go to sleep. When they wake up, they are all in chains. They're in 4 lines, and the 5 kids are standing in front of them. And the lead kid in this film, I forgot his name, the character's name, but he basically says to them in a costume and in a different voice that they aren't going to kill it. Well, the good news is they aren't going to kill the popular kids, but the bad news is they wish they would have. Because what they do to the kids, or to the popular kids, is crazy. They torture them, and they seek revenge on these popular kids for what they did to them in high school. In high school. And so they do a lot of crazy stuff to them. And that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to spoil anything. So, and sorry if that wasn't a really good plot, summary about it, but I don't want to spoil anything about this movie if you haven't seen it yet. But The Final, for me, since it's part of After Dark Horror Fest, it is by far my favorite After Dark Horror Fest film. And in fact, I wish this movie was not part of After Dark Horror Fest, because it really doesn't need to be. In fact, I think, like I said, it's my favorite After Dark Horror Fest movie. And the thing about After Dark Horror Fest films is that some are good and some are just plain terrible. And even for me, I don't watch a lot of After Dark Horror Fest movies. I've seen a good amount, but I don't watch a lot of them. Especially with the later, series, like Series 2, I didn't really pay attention to those very much. Series 3, I don't think I watched any of them. But Series 4, this is the only one I've seen. And this is definitely by far my favorite in the After Dark Horror Fest series that have come out. And I just wish it was on its own, because it's a really, really good movie. So, but the final things I liked about this movie. I really enjoyed the plot. I thought they did a good job with the story, where you really care about these 5 kids, especially in the beginning, because you don't want them to get picked on. They did a really good job when it came to the characters, and you having these popular kids who are picking on these not so popular kids, and you really don't like these popular kids because of how cruel they are to these 5 kids, and you really care about the 5 kids, more or less than others, but you still care about them all. And you don't want, when you see them being picked on or being called names, you just feel bad for them. So I thought they did a really good job overall with the story. The tension in this movie when the 5 kids are torturing these popular kids is crazy, especially for an After Dark Horror Fest movie. It's pretty shocking with some of the stuff you see. And like I said, it's crazy. There's a lot of tension in this movie. The acting overall I thought was great acting. I thought they did a good job with the 5 kids, but also with the popular kids, because the popular kids, you hate them. Especially in the beginning, you really don't like them very much. And I think they did a good job when it came to the characters and acting, because, and this surrounds the popular kids, when the popular kids are being tortured, you see some of the kids wanting to, they're put in a situation, and to another friend, or, you know, they're asked to do something to one of their friends in a bad way, and some of the kids won't do it because they care about their friends. And then there's some popular kids who don't really care, and they want to save their own butt, so they'll do whatever they need to do to save their life. And so I thought they did a good job with the characters and the acting and the storyline. And the torture in this movie is very cringing. There's a lot of tension, and there's some shocking stuff in this movie. And overall, I have to say I really enjoyed this. Again, this is definitely my favorite After Dark Horror Fest movie, and I highly recommend it to anybody. I know the label After Dark Horror Fest, some people are worried to watch these movies because they don't know how they're going to turn out, but the final is seriously one that I think a lot of people would enjoy. And if you saw already and you didn't like it, that's cool, but I think a lot of people would enjoy this. For a lot of the stuff, the tension in this movie, the story, the acting, I mean, this is not a bad film in my opinion. And if I had to say one negative thing about this movie, is that it's too short. And I felt like they could have made it a bit longer. But that's the only negative thing I could say about this movie, because overall I really enjoyed this movie. And if I had to give it a rating, I'd give it a 4.5. I just really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend checking out the final. I remember I got this in October, not really knowing what it was about, except for the cover, and I got it for like $6 and something at Best Buy, brand new. But if you can find this movie, I highly recommend it. Definitely check it out, because I think a lot of you guys would like it. And like I said, I give it a 4.5 out of 5. So that is my review on the final. Like I said, I highly recommend it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I will see you guys back on next Sunday. And I recommend that you come back all week to check out some other awesome reviews from other awesome YouTubers. So I'm going to go. I hope you guys are having a good day or night, and have a great weekend, and I will see you guys, or not a great weekend, have a great week. Sorry, I'm a little tired, but everybody have a great week, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys next Sunday. So, okay.